Every evening at exactly 6 o'clock a little boy walked into the same small train station. His name was Oliver. He was only 8 years old, always carried a small blue backpack, and wore the same old brown coat. But the strangest thing about Oliver was the empty seat beside him. Every evening he sat on the same wooden bench near platform 3, and he always left one seat empty. When people asked him why he never sat there, he always gave the same answer: "Me dad is coming back." Station workers had heard those words for almost a year. Oliver had been coming there every evening since the day his father disappeared. His mother had tried everything to stop him. She had told him that his father might never come home. Esh had cried and explained that sometimes people disappear from our lives, but Oliver refused to believe her. His father had promised him something, had promised that they would take the evening train together one day, so Oliver believed promises could not disappear. That evening the station was colder than usual. Oliver placed his small backpack beside him and carefully brushed the empty seat with his hand. Then he looked toward the entrance. A train arrived. Hundreds of people stepped onto the platform. Oliver watched every face, but his father was not there. The train left station, became quiet again. An old station cleaner named Mr. Harris watched Oliver from a distance. He had seen the boy every evening, and he had started wondering why the child looked less hopeful every day. Harris finally walked over and sat a few seats away. Oliver looked at him. "He's dad late again?" Harris did not know what to say before he could answer. Oliver suddenly looked toward the far end of the platform. A tall man was standing there, was wearing a dark coat. His face was hidden beneath a hat. Oliver stood up immediately. That man turned away. Oliver ran after him, but when he reached the end of the platform, the man was gone. Only one thing remained: a small silver key lying on the ground. Oliver picked it up, and written on the key was a number 317. Oliver stared at it because 317 was the number his father had whispered to him on the night he disappeared, and for the first time in almost a year Oliver wondered if his father had never actually left. The next evening Oliver arrived at the station earlier than usual, kept the silver key tightly inside his pocket, had not told his mother about it, was afraid she would take it away. At 6 o'clock he sat in his usual placid empty seat beside him remained untouched. Harris noticed the key in Oliver's hand. "Where did you get that?" Oliver looked around before answering. "A man left it for me." "Had money?" "Do not know." "Was waiting for someone." Harris became strangely quiet. Oliver noticed his face had changed. "Oh, you know what 317 means?" Harris looked toward platform 3, then he lowered his voice. "Your father used to work here." Oliver stared at him. "Me dad never told me that. There are many things adults hide from children." Harris walked toward the old station office. After a moment he returned with an old envelope. He handed it to Oliver. "Your father asked me to keep this." Oliver could barely breathe. "Why did you not give it to me before?" "Because he told me only to give it to you if he did not return." Oliver opened the envelope with shaking hands. Inside was a photograph. It showed his father standing beside an old railway locker. Number 317 was clearly visible behind him. In the back of the photograph were 5 words: "Do not trust the man in blue." Oliver looked up. There was only one man in blue who came to the station every evening, a security guard. His name was Daniel. Oliver had always been afraid of him because Daniel never smiled, and somehow he always seemed to know when Oliver was coming. Oliver looked across the station. Daniel was standing near the entrance watching him. Then Daniel slowly started walking toward him. Oliver quickly placed the photograph inside his backpack. Daniel stopped in front of him. "You should not be here alone." Oliver said nothing. Daniel looked at the empty seat beside him. "Your father is not coming back." Oliver felt tears filling his eyes. "You do not know that." Daniel leaned closer. "You know more than you think." Then he walked away. Oliver watched him disappear into the crowd. His hands were trembling, but something else had changed inside him. For the first time he was no longer waiting for his father, was looking for him. That night Oliver could not sleep, kept thinking about the photograph, silver key, and the words written on the back: "Do not trust the man in blue." Next afternoon he secretly returned to the station, waited until the platform became quiet, and He found the old railway lockers. There were hundreds of them, but one locker had a faded number 317. Oliver pushed the silver key into the lock. It opened, and inside there was a small wooden box. Inside the box was a watch. His father watch. Oliver held it against his chest and began to cry. Under the watch was a folded piece of paper. Oliver opened it slowly. If you found this, then something went wrong. Oliver stopped breathing. The letter explained that his father had discovered someone inside the station was stealing money from passengers, had tried to report it, but someone had threatened him, had hidden evidence inside locker 317. Oliver searched the box again. There was a tiny memory card hidden beneath the watch. Did not understand what it was, but he knew it was important. Suddenly he heard footsteps. Oliver quickly closed the locker. Daniel appeared at the end of the corridor. Oliver froze. Daniel began walking toward him. Give me what you found. Oliver ran. He rushed through the station and pushed past people. Daniel followed him. Oliver ran toward platform 3. His feet were shaking. His heart was beating wildly. Then he saw Mr. Harris. Oliver ran straight toward him. Harris grabbed his hand. Come with me. They hurried into the old maintenance room. Daniel stopped outside. Oliver whispered, "Red nose." Harris looked at the memory card. Then his face became pale. Your father was right about what? Harris looked at Oliver with tears in his eyes. Our father did not disappear. Oliver stared at him. Then where is Hammer? Harris took a long breath. As Oliver covered his mouth. For almost a year he had imagined every possible reason why his father had never returned, but he had never imagined this. Harris opened an old cabinet. Inside was a newspaper clipping. Headline said that a railway worker had disappeared after reporting a criminal group. Oliver looked at the photograph below. The headline 8 was his father. Then Mr. Harris said something that made Oliver's heart stop. Your father has been hiding because they are still looking for him and they know about you. Oliver wanted to go home, but Mr. Harris told him they had to be careful. If the people searching for his father discovered where he lived, they could use Oliver to find him. Oliver began crying. "You only want my dad." Harris knelt beside him. "You know, and that is why he has been staying away." Oliver shook his head. "Promised me he would come back." Harris looked down. Sometimes a promise means staying away until it is safe. That evening Oliver returned home. His mother was waiting at the door. She had been searching for him. "Where were you?" Oliver could not answer. His mother saw the tears in his eyes. Then she noticed the old watch in his hand. Her face suddenly changed. "Where did you get that?" Oliver stared at her. Your newest mother sat down slowly. She had been keeping a secret for almost a year. "Your father called me 3 times after he disappeared." Oliver began crying. Did you not tell me? Because every call could have put you in danger." She explained that his father had discovered a group inside the railway company who were helping criminals move stolen money through different cities. Had gathered evidence, but before he could hand it to the police, he was followed. Disappeared to protect his family. Then his mother took a small piece of paper from a drawer. "Your father left this for you." Oliver opened it. There was only one sentence: "When the station clock stops at 7:17, come to platform 3. Oliver looked at his mother. She was crying. "No, cannot go." But Oliver knew what he had to do. Next evening they went together at exactly 7:17. The station lights flickered. The giant clock stopped at 7:17. Platform became strangely quiet. Then a man stepped out from behind the old train carriage. Oliver stopped breathing. He knew that face. He had seen it in his dreams every night. His father looked at him for a few seconds. Neither of them moved. Then the man dropped to his knees and Oliver ran into his arms. His father held him tightly. "I am sorry," Oliver cried against his coat. "He saved you." See, this father looked toward the wooden bench. Empty seat was still there, but before he could say anything, Harris suddenly shouted it down. A loud noise came from the station entrance. Daniel had found them. Everyone froze. Daniel stood near the entrance with 2 other men. Oliver's father immediately pulled him behind him. His mother held Oliver tight. Harris stepped forward. "The police are already on their way." Daniel smiled. "You should have stayed hidden." Oliver father looked at him. "You made one mistake." "What mistake?" "I thought my son was only waiting for me." Daniel looked toward Oliver, but Oliver was no longer afraid. He had spent almost a year sitting on that bench waiting for someone who might never return. It During that time, he had learned some things imitated love makes children stronger than adults. Harris had already sent the evidence from the memory card to the police as sirens could be heard outside. Daniel tried to escape, but officers entered the station. From both sides within minutes everything was over. Men were arrested. The evidence found inside locker 317 exposed the entire criminal operation, and Oliver's father was finally able to return home. But the next evening something unexpected happened. Oliver still went to the station. His father walked beside him. He reached the old wooden bench. Oliver looked at the empty seat. His father smiled. "You do not need to save my seat anymore." Oliver smiled through his tears. "No, but I want to sit here with you." His father sat down. Oliver climbed beside him. For the first time in almost a year there was no empty seat. Station lights came on. The evening train arrived. People walked past them without knowing what had happened there. They did not know about the missing father. They did not know about the little boy who waited every evening. They did not know about the silver key locker 317 or the secret that had kept a family apart. They only saw a father and his little boy sitting together. Oliver leaned against his father's shoulder. "You going to leave again?" His father looked at him. "Never, if I can help it." Oliver closed his eyes because after waiting for so long finally understood some things. Imitize the people we love are not gone. Sometimes they are just trying to find their way home, and sometimes the smallest seat in a quiet railway station can hold the biggest promise in the world.